Today, we are going to be talking about anxiety. Quick disclaimer, I don't have anxiety. Like, I don't take medication for it. I haven't gone to the doctor and gotten diagnosed or anything like that. So this video isn't really for that necessarily, but it's more for certain days or certain periods where you are feeling more anxious than normal and trying to help you guys get out of that, because that's something that I've dealt with before. So, first things first, I dyed my hair. I'm not really sure how I feel about it still. Anyway, this past week I have been super busy. I went on a little 2-day staycation thing to this place called Great Wolf Lodge. Immediately after that, I went and spent the night at my sister's house and met her new dog, her little puppy. Her name's Coco. We also got a nice birthday dinner with my brother-in-law for his birthday. And that was probably the first time in quite a while that I've been like with a big group of people eating out like that at a big restaurant and stuff. We went to Cheesecake Factory. Say hi!
Hi!
Happy birthday to you! And then, right after I slept over there, my boyfriend met me at her house and we played a bunch of board games, and then I went to his house and hung out with his family and played a bunch of video games and ate dinner and stuff. And the reason that I'm telling you all of this is because when I got home last night, after not really having time to myself for almost a whole week, I was feeling really drained and kind of anxious. And so it kind of inspired me to want to film this video. When I was younger, probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I used to have anxiety all the time, and it was really annoying, and I never really told my family about it, not even really my friends. So I dealt with it pretty much completely by myself, which was fine. But I did learn quite a few things while I was going through that I thought would be beneficial for me to share with you guys. So to start us off, when I was a sophomore in high school, I was going through a lot of stuff with some ex-friends, and that's when I had my first boyfriend and my first real friendship heartbreak, my first like boyfriend heartbreak. And so I was just going through a lot of different things that teenagers go through or whatever. And it was causing me a lot of stress and like constant anxiety. And now I'm super blessed because all of my friends are great and I love them, and my boyfriend now is great and I love him. My sophomore year of high school was also the first time that I had a panic attack, and I'm pretty sure I've only had maybe 2 panic attacks in my entire life, and they're really scary. So if you've never had one, good for you, but if you have, I'm really sorry, but I'm also with you because I've had them before. But eventually, I got sick and tired of being anxious all the time. These 3 things that I'm gonna talk about are all 3 things that I have done before to get rid of my anxiety, and it worked really well for me, and so hopefully they work for you too. The first thing that I asked myself was, what is causing the anxiety? For my situation, there was a person in my life that was constantly stressing me out, and we were always fighting, and I would always feel like I had to watch my mouth around them, and I wouldn't be able to like say what I wanted to say. So I think The first thing is definitely figuring out what is causing the anxiety. Is it financial stress? Is it just that you're overworked, like too much homework or finals week or something like that? Is it toxicity in some sort of relationship that you're in? Sometimes it can be even as simple as something in your diet, like if you're consuming too much caffeine, that's really not good for you and it can cause you to be anxious and jittery all the time. Like skipping meals if you're not eating enough, sometimes that can cause you to be anxious. If you're eating foods that are really bad for you, sometimes that can mess with your body. So I think the first thing to handling the problem is obviously to know what it is. The second thing that I did was I bought a journal and I just started venting everything. I bought my first journal when I was in 6th or 7th grade because I thought it was cute and like all of the girls had one, and so I wanted to be cool and like have a secret thing. But once I started getting older, I actually found that journaling really is very beneficial for your mental health. And so basically what I mean by this is you should have some sort of outlet that you can put all of your emotional stress into, because the more that you bottle things up inside of yourself, the worse it's gonna be when it finally has to come out. And in general, bad things happen when you keep everything inside for too long. Another thing that people do outside of journaling is talking to a therapist, which I never did because luckily for me, I was able to kind of handle it on my own. But sometimes if what's making you anxious is really too big for you to handle on your own and you need to be able to talk to someone that is professional and can really help you, or you get a journal and you just get it all out on paper. Also make sure that you're being honest with yourself when you're journaling, because when I first got a journal, I felt like I was making an audience in my head, and so I was even though it was only me who was reading anything that I wrote, I would feel like I had to say certain things or like filter myself. But realistically, the only person that's ever gonna see your journal is you. So it's good to just say whatever the heck you feel like you need to say. And also, I feel like if you do the second step of journaling before the first step, that can be good too, because if you don't know what is making you anxious, it's gonna be hard to handle it. So I feel like if you write down whatever you're feeling and then read it over, you can maybe figure out what's making you anxious through what you're writing about. My third and final tip is to practice mindfulness. So I know that not a lot of you are gonna wanna sit out on the grass doing yoga and meditating all day to get rid of your anxiety, but a lot of times nowadays, if I'm feeling anxious, I will go and work out, or I will meditate, or take a bath, or do self-care, or something that just kind of resets myself and lets me think about what's bothering me and think about how I can fix it. I think that taking time to relax is really important for not only your physical body, but your mental body, your spiritual self. And in general, I feel like if you listen to your body and listen to what it's trying to tell you, you can avoid a lot of issues. And a lot of times I find that when I'm feeling anxious, it's because I've been around a lot of people for a long period of time and I just need to be by myself and reset. And then my last mini tip in this is something that I've already mentioned in probably a couple of my videos, but positive thinking is really important. If you're having a phase where you're just always feeling anxious and always feeling gross, sometimes it can be good to just kind of sit and manifest better days instead of saying, oh my god, I'm so anxious and this is a terrible day and things are never gonna get better. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to get out of that rut that you're in than it would be for you to say, tomorrow's gonna be better, or I'm going to make tomorrow better. Then a lot of times it'll be easier both for you and your brain to get over whatever it is that you're struggling with. So that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I feel like when there's things that I have personal experience in, it's good to get it out on a platform like this so that people can look at it and maybe it can help them, or maybe it can even help future me if I'm having a point in my life where I'm anxious. And sometimes it can just be good to watch someone talk about something that you have experienced so that you know that you're not alone. Because you're not. There's a lot of people in this world that probably have the same problems as you or similar problems to you. And human beings are very social creatures. And so when we know that we're really not alone, sometimes that's all we need to feel better. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday. Bye! Also, I just wanted to show you guys because I kind of thought it was funny. So I'm like filming on my bed, right? And this is my setup. I have like my ring light thing, and then I have my big tripod, but then because my big tripod can't hold my camera, I have my little tripod wrapped around my big tripod. I said tripod like a million times, but anyway. Okay, bye.